Hello. Today is Tuesday. It means we're playing Title Tuesday. I'm playing, you're watching. Maybe watching. Maybe not. So, in today's Title Tuesday, we have a lot of strong players. Let me go straight to the tournament hall. We have Magnus Carlsen, Ferrugia, Nepo, Lazavic, Maksudlu, and so on. This one, by the way, is it Erigaisi or not? Yeah, Erigaisi is here. Duda, Andreken, Dubov. This is not Duda. This is some international master from Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam. This is Duda. Somehow. Because Duda's account Polish fighter, and I remember that it's fighter and some number, and that's why I mixed it up. Bortnik, Sindarev, and so on. I am starting number... I'm starting number 57. So let's go. Round 1. Let the party begin. I changed my camera placement a little bit. Previously it was a little bit there, so it was a bit weird. At the same time, I cannot really put it here, so I would be in front of the camera, because there is one more camera, which is about playing under 2 cameras or playing with Proctor. So far I don't like my position. The guy is playing quite well the opening stage. Here, okay, I hope there wouldn't be a problem for me. Again, I wanted to say hello to you guys. Unfortunately, he disappeared. So 15 moves. I have 3:48 on my clock. I'm more or less okay. I have some ideas. Like maybe 94 at some. Gena is hunting for my water and disturbing my play. Gena, this is my water. A reasonable idea by the opponent, offering to exchange the queens. Let's play queen d3, attacking h7, and maybe playing knight e4 next move. The only question is which knight. Let's go for this one. So I'm gonna grab his bishop. Of course I am. Let's take, let's play knight e4 maybe. However, knight e4, then eventually maybe bishop f5 will be a move by the guy. I'm not sure if I need that. I mean, I'm sure I don't need that. So let's go for bishop h6. Well, he has a very solid construction. I must admit that. Some knight h5, like maybe at some point, like for example, I can play rook h5, but unfortunately it doesn't give me anything. At least I don't see what it gives to me. Oh, stupid rook e2, and I blundered. Like, it's not like I blundered, but yeah, obviously I didn't want this to happen. Oh, it's all because of the Gana, who is sitting nearby and acting annoyingly for me. What do I do? Knight f6, knight e4, knight e5 is coming by the guy. My connection is also not so good for some reason. I don't know. Is it like I was really wasting that like a lot of time, or it's some stupid thing by taking away my time? Like, yes, I'm simply losing time because of something, because of I don't know why. Simply because of my internet connection, probably. I don't believe I spent that much time. I even saw that on the first moves. Also gonna stall some like part of my time for sure. Now after h6 I will have to play knight e4, exchanging my beautiful knight. And this is already not something I'm happy about. I mean, this position overall obviously looks quite drawish. I'm also worse on time. I don't know where I lost all of my time. This is insane. And I see no way to play for a win. That's another problem. Okay, now I have an idea. And maybe now it's already winning for me. I should start it with queen f7. Shit. Oh shit, this is insane. Such a stupidity. Being completely winning and spoiling everything. Insane. Insane. All because of the Genna. Incredible. Curiously, it's not winning here. Black should have played queen d3. Now it is just one. Like you see, even in analysis, like I don't know if you can see this or not, but it takes I make a move and then it takes some time to show me the line. Okay, so it's already here was a mistake by me. Queen e7, king h8, queen f7, king h8, e7. Cool. So just given a check, stupid check first, that's it. That would be winning. Insane stupidity. Yeah, you can see like my connection, like one out of 4. What's this? Stupid. And to me, it also felt that like it was simply like every move, even in the beginning when I made a move, it was like 1 or 2, let's say it took away some time from me. I felt like that, at least. I don't know. You can see I have 455, and now next move I will see it will be like, I don't know, maybe 450. No, okay, this time it was fine. I guess it's not a blunder by white, but probably it was a blunder. I'm not even sure if I need to take on c3. Like maybe okay, maybe the guy will play queen d2. Yeah, queen d2 should be the move if he doesn't want to lose a pawn. But I'm not so sure if after bc3 I'm going to take on c3, because bc3, queen c3, bishop d2, the queen goes maybe to d3. Yes, he couldn't castle, but let's say rook c1, maybe then later attacking my queen with rook c3, while after bc3, bishop a6, like it is a closed position, so like it will be more difficult for him. I mean, it's still, he cannot castle. Yeah, he decided to play queen d2, so it's not so relevant anymore. I don't really see any way to use, like, I mean, my queen was hanging, so was not much to do. And as you may notice, it's totally fine with me getting this position, because I'm actually expected this to happen. I mean, I expected not to take on c3 myself. I mean, I planned not to take there. Bishop a3, is it his idea? D5, I don't want to allow him to put his knight on e5, so that's why I play d5 to activate my bishop. If bishop a3, I will take it and play rook b8. Maybe next move I castle, and for his king, it's not the same. Maybe some ideas like this. Reasonable. What can I say? Let's play rook b8. Developing my rook. Unfortunately, he will be in time to play rook h3, rook b3, knight g1, defending the pawn. Actually, like in the worst case, he could defend the pawn with bishop b2. So it's not a big deal for him anyway. And maybe c5 makes sense. What else could I do? I could play rook b4. This is a funny move, but it doesn't give me much. Let's play rook b3, just asking him a question what he's gonna do if he plays bishop b2 or he plays knight somewhere. He made his decision. And now let's play c5. Let's say having a chance to, like previously with his knight. Okay, now anyway the knight is there, so not a big deal. Bishop e2 he cannot even take with the, no, with queen he cannot take. He should take with the king. cd4, queen a6 check. Oh no, bishop b4 first probably. I don't know, should be fine. Should be fine for me. Let's go for this one. Now I'm not sure if I start with queen a6 check or bishop b4. Bishop b4, maybe rook b3 is an option. Bishop d2, rook b8, king d7, rook h8, bishop c3, let's start with queen a6 check. 221. I have, how about bishop b4 now? And next move I castle, bring in my rook in. Queen d1 is actually a very good move by the guy, for the guy. Attacking my rook. So what am I gonna do about that? Because if I take on d3, it's like there is no advantage for me. Like maybe I just spoiled everything what I had. On this move we are happy to see. Welcome on board. A very weird decision by white. Of course, queen d1 was the right move. Like, does he think that he's gonna take my bishop on b4 or what was that? However, he can play bishop d2. Maybe king d7 was even a smart move for me. But okay, let's play rook c4. If bishop b4, I have rook b8. He cannot defend the bishop on b4 because of rook b4. And next move I'm probably gonna take with my a8, b8 rook. Maybe rook c b4 makes sense. Rook d4, by the way, is an option. But let's start with this one. I can take on b3, then take on d4. Oh, that should be enough to win. And the pawn endgame is completely winning for me, I guess. Of course, I can take the pawn, having even more pawns, but okay, this should be enough. I just realized that after a6 it might be tricky. Actually, okay, after a6 I have d4, king d4, king b6, and taken that pawn. But he can play f4, g4, he can try that. Actually, yes, maybe like it was better to grab one more pawn on a4 and playing the queen endgame. Yep. It's gonna be a bit tricky, probably. Let's play g6. I think should be like makes sense. This move makes sense to clarify a situation there. They stole my... They steal my time. What is that? Like, what? What is that? Here I had 12 seconds and I was pre-moving. Yeah, and then I had I had no time in like something wrong with my... No, I don't really think it is with my internet connection. I think it's something wrong with chess.com, because it was about downloading a new version of Proctor today, and I think they have some issues. No, some bullshit. Yeah, you may say that I should have played faster, but at the same time, it was like everything was under control. I mean, the position was completely winning in the end game, and I mean, I had 12 seconds. I even had more time than my opponent had, and like what? Some bullshit. And I think it was like chess.com was still in my time in the middle game as well, yeah? I mean, in the end, like I clearly saw that, yes, because I make a move like instead of like 0 0.5 seconds, 0 like 1 second, it takes like 3 seconds away from me. And especially since you saw I pre-moved some moves, and they still charged me some time for those moves. Insane. I don't know where's the guy. Oh, he made a move. You see my time? I made a move. I made a move. My time was ticking. Shit. Fuck. I'm gonna lose this game as well if they continue. You see? He made a move, but I made a move, but my time was. You see? So at least I'm not paranoid. Yeah, this is reality. Something is like some shit is going on with chess.com. Is it pawn takes? Yeah, I think it is. No, no, it's queen takes. Okay, like 4 minutes against 1 minute. Most likely, I'm gonna win this game, even if they will take away some time from me. But, like next rounds, I'm not sure how is it, how it is going to be. like it says that I spent 13 seconds to play d4. It says that I spent like 6 seconds to play knight f3, the moves I made automatically. Some bullshit with here I had 13 seconds and I was pre-moving. Yeah, somewhere here it didn't work, the pre-move didn't work, but here you see I pre-moved king e3. I pre-moved king e3. Took 2.4 seconds to appear. Then I also pre-moved this move, some other moves. Here, like I had 4 seconds and next move I lost. This. On Licha said everything is fine. My ping says like 90 millisecond, which is a standard story. There is a chat window, and like in that Proctor application, so I asked there what is the issue with time stealing with connection. Let's see if there will be any answer. It would have been fun if I lost the first game. You remember when I was thinking if like obviously I saw that I had no way to escape repetition. I mean, otherwise I would be checkmated, and I was still thinking if like to make a draw or not. And this would have been funny if I lost that game because of like when I finally decided to repeat the moves, they would steal some time from me, and I would lose on time. Like, what's this? Okay, now it shows now it's showing two. What's the word for this? 2 bars, yeah. 2 bars out of 4. Well, let's see if it's gonna be better. But obviously with like let's say if it's still gonna be like it was in first 3 rounds, I'm simply gonna lose on time, and like when my opponents will play more or less decent chess, I'm not gonna lose like on position maybe, but I will lose everything on time. Queen c1 is one of the best reaction. It is kind of saying that black doesn't really have a better move than white has. Okay, now he castled. I finally can move my queen back, and bishop e7 is actually a useful move for me for everything. So everything is fine for me. And I'm gonna castle long. Yeah, for now it seems like the connection has improved, but let's see how it is going to be. I need to castle rook g8 and g5. That's my plan. And white has like 1-2 moves left to do something. Otherwise he's gonna simply lose the game. And h5 doesn't really stop me from playing g6 or g5. Usually I play g6, because if g5, then white may ignore that. So you see, now it goes way better. 435 after 15 moves. This is like normal time management. I mean, it's not about time management, it's about like not stealing my time. Maybe they decided I'm playing too well, and they decided to increase the level of difficulty. Ouch. I mean, opening up the G file doesn't look like a good idea. By like a G6, I thought it was better, but maybe G5, bishop G5. Let's say bishop G5, knight G5, rook H5. There is a 4. Okay, let's go for GH5. Looks simple. Having an open file. Bishop f4, I don't really care, doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do. Let's start with h4. Maybe rook g4 was rook g4 was also fine to start with. I wanted to play. I see. Actually, like knight h2 might be a bit annoying. Because I will have to play rook g7. This is hanging. I cannot play rook g8 because of knight h2. Let's play knight b8, simply defending the pawn on d7. I expect him to play knight h2 first, because otherwise if he takes on b7, queen b7, he cannot play knight h2 anymore. Unfortunately, I don't see any tactical possibilities here. Rook takes g2 would be interesting, but doesn't work. So let's play rook g7. Now he may go for bishop h6, attacking my rook one more time. Once again, they're like, oh, knight g4 is a nice idea by the guy. Shit. This is little bit annoying. Knight g4 move. So maybe I should have played rook g7 instead of rook g4. Now I'm not so happy anymore about my position. I don't really want to sack my rook on g4. Okay, let's go for... Oh, queen b7. I thought I'm gonna play queen b7, but I cannot do that. Shit. Stupid. Okay, let's play rook d8, defending the pawn on d7 and playing queen c6 next move, or queen b7. And maybe queen c6. Yeah, like slightly I missed the moment. Not the moment, but I mean I missed the... I don't even know what do I call it. Bishop g5, then he has a way, like, well, what else to do? Yeah, not a great situation for me anymore. I mean, it's like my position is okay, but it's not a winning position. That's the problem. It's not a winning position. That's the problem. I mean, maybe I'm even better still, but it's not as winning as I wish it to be. You see, in this game, it's fine with my time, because I was able to talk. I was able to talk a lot, and still I have 2 minutes on my clock after like 28 moves. So it was definitely something wrong with chess.com. Oh, 95, then there is f4. Shit. And f4, knight g4, he has king h3. Knight f6, takes knight e4. We'll go somewhere not so clear. Shit. What if I go for rook e5, rook d7? I don't like that at all. Okay, let's go for a passive knight f8 for a moment. Hopefully for a moment. Maybe not for a moment, maybe like forever. Now he's gonna play g3, I take, and my rook will be stuck there. I cannot move my knight, I cannot move my rook, I cannot move the other rook. So I'm eventually going to flag the guy. I'm gonna take on, in this case, I'm gonna take on f6 and then go knight h6, knight h7, knight f6. And by the way, the position is like, there are no single problem for me, I would say. Like f5 is actually not a bad idea by the guy. But otherwise, I mean, like by material, I'm fine. I wish I had my knight on e4. By material, I'm totally fine. I'm gonna play knight e8, then f5, and land my knight on e4. And the mission is to flag the guy, and not to flag myself. But with his 30 seconds, it's already gonna be not so difficult. And this is already easy. Hopefully. The only thing is not to get under threefold repetition. That's why I played a4 just in case, you know, do not have any problems. Did you see it? For a second, White's king disappeared. what's today like with internet connection, or what was it about? Like, not a great game. Let's see the moment where I had a better chance. Somewhere here it should be very good for me. You see, oh, this is you see, too smart to leave the pawn on h5, so the guy wouldn't have a chance to play knight h2, f3, knight g4 like he did in the game. Like, this is not so obvious, let's say, and rook g4 should be the move. Then I have a decent advantage, and here it's already nothing for me because of this f3 knight g4 construction. Yeah, that line was possible. I thought about that, but I didn't want to give up the exchange too early. At least knight f8, here we go. This rook f6 is necessary. Unfortunately for me, this position, like, the guy started to waste his time, but overall black has no problems, of course. And you where swap nail. Somehow the beginning of the tournament didn't go well, and like, let's say, having 2.5 out of 4 when I should have had 4 out of 4. Yeah, this is quite disappointing, and it's not even my fault. Okay, like, maybe there is a small part of my fault in game one with white, yes, but then game with black, second game, I mean, of course, like, I should have, like, maybe saved my time, but I didn't know that's like, I mean, I saw like something, I felt something was wrong in game one, but still I didn't see a clear sign, a clear moment. And in game two, it was clear to me only closer to the end, but maybe chess.com was still in my time throughout the whole game, or I mean several times, but I saw that clearly only in the end of the game. And we also saw that in game 3, fortunately, like, my opponent almost like didn't appear, like he only got to the game when he had 1 minute 30 seconds, or there shouldn't be a problem. And last round was fine, so we could believe to those 2 out of 4, and we could believe to that like 1 out of 3 in first 3 rounds. Yeah, I would also say that chess-wise today I'm doing not so great, but I think it was affected by by that interesting story. What can I do? Let's see how much time left. Oh, 1 minute left. Very good. So next round is coming. And this is of course not easy to, like, you know, to get back on track when you, let's say, have when you had something wrong happened in the beginning of the tournament and you need to get back on track. Like, not so easy. But let's try, let's see how it goes. Okay, round 5. So far I have terrible 2.5 out of 4. I don't know this line, honestly saying. I mean, I don't really know. Like, actually, there is no advantage here for white in, you know, I mean, already in this position. But I don't know. Yeah, there is some direct line to some that leads to some exchanges, and that's a problem. Of course, I cannot take here, take there, because it leads to a direct draw. That's why I played queen d2, and this is maybe what is called, or at least this line became famous because of Dubov using it. So that's why let's just try to, like, you know, to do something. The guy probably doesn't want to play bishop e6, probably because of knight c5 or the other knight to c5. By the way, I need to keep an eye on the possible bishop a5 idea. And I think still the guy needs to play bishop e6, very logical move. Like, it could also be bishop f5, bishop g4, any of those. It was expected. Let's play knight c5, kind of. Actually, like, the only disadvantage of knight c5 is that I'm no longer able to take on b6 to take the bishop. But I couldn't go with another knight because of bishop a5. Okay, so no more problem about that. The problem is that he's gonna play rook e7, rook e8. Overall, black has, let's say, we'll see what this story will be about. But overall, black should be okay here. Black might even be slightly better. Like, it wouldn't be a surprise. So I need to be careful about possible d3 and stuff like that. Let's go rook d1 for now. I don't see any tactical, like, also I have covered the c4 square. There is no rush to take the pawn on b7, especially, like, I usually don't believe two pawns like this. This I thought I would simply go for knight d3. e3 is obviously not a move. f4 might be interesting, but f4 is obviously a risky move. Knight d3 looks... no. Knight d3, like maybe he wants to play rook d8. Yeah, of course he wants to play rook d8. What else he would play? But okay, let's go for knight d3. Maybe f4 was stronger. Rook a d8 is an obvious move, of course. Can I take on b7? Can I be so stupid and so greedy? Maybe I am so stupid and so greedy. Of course, I have checked some lines. I'm not so stupid just to, like, you know, be a kamikaze. Bishop e2, I have both captures, queen e2 and rook e2, bishop e2, queen e2, knight d3, I take on d8, on e8. In the end, I also have bishop e4 taking the knight. If knight d3, then okay, simply e d3. Rook d3 was a critical line, but then e d3. The rook on e8 would be hanging. If bishop f3, I have rook takes e5. So he needs to keep the tension somehow. Like maybe something like bishop f5, for example. Oh no, the guy didn't listen to me. He had simply no way to do something else. That's the problem, actually. Otherwise, of course, he would do something else. But now it is an easy win for me. Rook e2, knight d3 now, rook e2, rook d3. Let's do the same position, in fact. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which move I go for. Rook e2, rook d3, then I would still... yeah, maybe there I wouldn't be forced to give up my queen, but I don't mind. Any capture on d3 leads to the same position. I mentioned this line. Yes. Can I actually play a rook c2? I don't really think I need to be greedy here. I can give out the a2 pawn, but why not? Of course, I check that, like, the key point is that bishop on d3 and the rook on e8 were unprotected, and just in case I checked if the guy can use it somehow. But I didn't see the way for him, so everything is fine. It's time to give up. It is obviously time to give up for black. There is no point of playing. Why to play? I have no idea. White's position is completely winning. There is no single chance for black. The only thing, not to miss some kind of stalemate, of course. Bishop e2 is not really possible at the moment, but it is my plan. Even with his pawn on h3, he has absolutely nothing to do. So it's not clear why he doesn't want to give up. The key point is, of course, not to do something stupid. So then in the end, it would be like, okay, I made a draw, talking too much. I can even like move this rook away, like still my king is so safe thanks to the bishop. The bishop, we can say thanks for your service. Like the guy has 10 seconds against 1 minute. He's completely lost. Why he plays? Why he's keep playing? Insane. I have queen e4 checkmate. It was an interesting, not an interesting story, it's a stupid story in fact. Like maybe 2 months ago, something like that, I played a local blitz tournament, and I played against a boy who actually became world champion under 8, like 2-3 weeks ago, and he didn't resign. So I promoted all the pieces. I promoted like knight, one more bishop, one more rook, something like that, and he didn't give up till the very end. So eventually I checkmated him, and he was even on some of my group lessons. So after the game, I asked him why he didn't give up, and he said like, well, okay, I want to play. Poor boy. No, as I told you, I understand when people don't want to give up, let's say when there is some fight at least, yes, they still have like some miracle but chances. And also, especially of course, if, for example, your position was winning, and then your opponent was lucky, then of course you don't really want to give up. Okay, playing against Andraken. First decent opponent for today. I already have 3 out of 4. I mean, in terms of my connection. Things are getting better. But where is my opponent? Honestly saying, I don't know much here. I only know that this should be fine for white, but I don't know any theory here. Honestly saying. Maybe this is not a good idea because he's gonna play h6, maybe g5. Hopefully I will be able to defend my pawn on e5. But it's good that he's thinking. It means that, okay, he played this to control the e7 square. Maybe knight c5. Obviously knight c5 is one of his ideas. Let's start with bishop d3. So controlling, so if knight c5, I would go bishop c2 and controlling the e4 square. What do I do here? Okay, maybe I don't know, maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe it was better to defend like play king d2 or rook c1, so avoiding that options by the opponent. Let's play bishop e4 the moment he cannot play c5. Maybe it was not really necessary to like try to prevent that. Okay, it's stupid by him. I don't see anything smart about knight a4 at least. This is already not so bad. Actually, if he plays c5, he would lose his knight. So, okay, I go rook d6, rook d1. He will go knight c5 back. His knight has nothing to do there. Okay, what next? What next? I have more or less decent position, but what next? Let's try to maybe to be a bit annoying for the guy. Kind of weakening his position. Next move I could play bishop f6. Or maybe he's gonna go after my pawn, but bishop a6 I can always play rook d4. Yeah, stopping my actually I can play h3 right away since h4 is not really an option for him. I'm gonna play g4 and maybe my rook will go from that side. Now rook d8 is not so stupid, but maybe I don't need that at the moment. Let's go for g4 first. Yeah, you see, he's kind of saying that, okay, I'm solid, how do you even beat me? And that's actually a very good question, I would say. How about bringing my king all the way there? Oh, I missed bishop. I had simple win with bishop d8. Shit. And what do I do now? Let's just make a move. Like maybe, however, it's a bad idea, weakening my b3 square. Shit, how do I progress here? That's a very good question. Let's see what is his next move. Actually has that rook to like being able to move somewhere. Maybe, by the way, b5 is not a stupid idea by him, but this one I thought should be fine for me. After rook d7 or bishop d8, I cannot do that. I mean, I can, but I can't. I'm gonna lose this one. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly saying. Oh, stupid. Where am I going? Surprisingly, it is just like 0.4 for me. I missed the chance I could have played bishop d8. Yeah, bishop d8, and he immediately played king a7. Okay, next round. Actually, I played h5 to avoid g4, but he can actually no, he cannot play g4 actually, yeah. Because I take, and I take on g4. What is the guy thinking about? Like, make any move. So I can play queen e7 followed by either castling short or castling long. For white, it makes sense to go for e4 or c4 even before castling, because who knows, like if he castles short, maybe I go for h4, g4, knight takes g4, h3. Maybe not right away, maybe like I start with something else. So he goes for e4, but he starts with intermediate. Okay, then I need my knight on g6 to help me with h4 and attack the pawn on f4. Maybe like I would prefer to play knight d7, but then e4 takes. Let's say like maybe I do something else. Like, okay, I need to take. I need to take. And now if he cannot play queen e4 because of h4. I mean he can, but yeah, it's gonna be bad for white because g4 is not an option. I win a pawn on f4. That was the whole point behind knight g6 move. If my knight stayed on d7 in this position, then after g4 white would have a good position. White would simply be better. And now it's not so clear here what he's gonna do. Okay. Oh no. Okay. I play king e7. I should play king e7 because the only piece which is not attacking the pawn on f4, and he cannot play f5 obviously because of bishop g3 check. Most likely he's gonna play something like king f2, and okay, this is actually a very bad move by the guy because after bishop f4, I first of all exchange his bishop here. Secondly, I'll be a pawn up. What he was accounting for like rook h4, f5, and bishop g5. So cheap. And also he's wasting a lot of his time, which is a bad idea, as you may know. After bishop takes f4, I can go for rook takes f4, I can go for knight takes f4. Everything is fine for me there. Okay, then I just simply take his bishop. Very weird play by the guy. I mean, in terms of like exactly like wasting a lot of his time. And here he could have played e4 or c4. I think he had an okay position. I'm already slightly better, however. e4, h4, f4, knight h5, or castle and long. This is like too smart, I would say. I'm not sure what I would play after e4. Maybe I even took on e4, but then you see it's no, taken is a bad idea. Rook h e8. How do you like this move? Let's say not so obvious. Let's say not so obvious. Where is my... Okay. And then even like in the end it was... How was it possible to lose this position? Of course only on time. Yes. But also like slowly losing it on position. Yeah, so I like just was low on time, started to do some stupid moves, and actually somewhere here, like I thought about f5 with my rook on f7. Yeah, stupid. Like somehow a very stupid day today. What can I say? Just with the beginning, which was incredibly weird. Let's just play it till the end and see what happens. This is actually funny that I can still score more points than I used to score in last, like I mean, 2 tournaments or 3 tournaments, because I played very well, but in the end I scored something like 7 out of 11. And today I have 3.5 out of 6, which means I need, like, I can still lose 1.5 points, and then I would still have those 7 points out of 11. Yeah? While if I score, how many rounds left? I have I have 4.5 out of 7. Not so terrible actually. 4 rounds left. So if I score 3.5 out of 4, then it will be 8 out of 11. Yeah. The only thing left to score those 8 out of 11. And by the way, nobody replied to my message about like what was the problem with time stealing. this is gonna be the last game before a small break. There is a break after round 4 and round 8. So let's say 1 more round, then a break, and then 3 more rounds, and we're done for today. And actually I'm kind of happy about that. Because like today is just not the day, and sometimes it happens, it's not your day because of some bullshit. It's not even because you play badly, but just some bullshit happens. Bishop h2 doesn't work here. Let's play f3. Here one of the ideas is to go like this. And it's time to do that. So by the way, f5 square after bishop left makes sense. Maybe it was better to start with bishop e3 for me. What is that? Not so clear. Is it a good idea to take or not? I don't know. Let's go. The guy doesn't want to exchange the queens, at least at the moment. Maybe his bishop will be nicely placed on d4. Yeah, so I mean, I didn't want to play knight d4, knight d4, knight d4, helping him to get to d4. Maybe I will go for knight f5. Maybe, by the way, he's gonna play knight d4. Playing knight f5 right away. Okay, since he played queen b6, it doesn't really matter anymore. Let's go for, actually, if I go for knight f5, then once again that knight d4 idea is there. And this is not something I really want to see. Let's play, or maybe how about like doing something like this. Maybe thinking of sacrificing on h6. Not sure, but maybe. And also when I will play, anyway, the queen on d1 was badly placed since the d file is open. Of course, I would like to play queen c2, but in this case knight d4, so actually there is no great square for my queen. And maybe c1 is one of the best options, because at least on the c file there are some pieces there. Knight d7 is a smart way to control the f5 square, and maybe also kind of x-raying the 6th rank. Maybe I can play b4, maybe not. Maybe let's start with rook e1, putting small pressure on the knight. By the way, I could have played, or he's gonna play knight g6. What stupid me. I could have played queen c2. Yeah, because of this knight g6. But maybe now I can take. Now it feels very interesting to take. I think it should work. I don't believe it wouldn't, because I have knight f5 idea, knight h5 idea, a lot of ideas, I would say. So I asked that question. Oh, knight g4. Okay, obviously knight f2 is a threat. He's gonna play knight h4 if, like, threatening checkmate. Shit, what a poor guy. What is this like? How is this knight g4 move comes to mind? Okay, what do I have? Several options. I can go for knight a4, counter-attacking a bit, attacking his knight, his bishop, sorry. I can take here. I can take knight h4, and I can play knight a4 there. Okay, thank you for the piece. I can even move my bishop away, I think, but this is like, let's go for this one. I would prefer to, like, not to get checkmated. Remember, I told you that I asked about, here we go, how about queen g5 now? He plays knight g6. Now we keep the party alive and we go all out. This one should be winning for me, of course. Like, just I have, like, it's not even something to calculate. I have too many pieces there. His idea is clear. His way to survive. But how about a super nasty move? Super duper nasty move, I would say. Bishop f6. Oh, madre mia. What a move. You remember I told you that I asked about, like, what was going on. So I didn't get any response, but instead they, for some reason, text, maybe there is nobody there, maybe just automatic program, and it said, remember that you must keep both of your cameras on and continue screen sharing at all times. If you don't comply with these guidelines, you might be requested to complete more fair play checks. Thanks. What? If you have nothing to say, then better, like, keep silence, yes? What's this about? Okay, let's check the game. GC5 was good. Bishop f4 was good. Knight c4, however, would be fine for me. Knight c4 with, knight c4 with the idea of f takes c4. Like, you know, understandable, but like, you know, maybe there is no need to worsen my pawn structure like this. Knight d7 is the best move by the guy. Rook e1, knight g6 is a mistake. And this is a final. Yeah, of course, here, if he takes, I have a threat of queen g6, and there is one more idea, knight f5, delivering checkmate on g7. And here, everything is actually winning for me. Bishop d5, I have knight d4, other knight to e4. Yeah, here, of course, if king g7, then I have knight f5, and queen goes to this knight can go here. Queen h6 is also an option. Queen h6 maybe not the best. Yeah, queen h6 is enough. Yeah, so okay, not much to say about the game. Okay, now we have okay, it is a 6-minute break now. I have 5.5 out of 8. Maybe you're gonna play against somebody strong in next round. Maybe still somebody weak. But okay, let's make a short break. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, here we go. Like 1 minute left till the beginning of round 9. Three rounds left. I have 5.5 out of 8 with a terrible tiebreak. A tiebreak is not so important today, but overall, at the moment, sharing from 34th till 53rd place. While there are 397 participants. This is actually quite annoying, you know, like I don't really know. Unfortunately, I don't really know what to do to have a better result. Like, I mean, like several Tuesdays in a row, I have a good result. I mean, I no more like I have good quality of the games, but I don't have the result, a good result. The good result, I mean. And I'm thinking that I'm kind of getting closer, but maybe this is what I want to see. And in reality, it is just about like I show my consistent 7 out of 11 and that's it. It's usually it makes sense to get rid of the knight because bishop pair plus knight on the board, it is better than just the bishop pair, because knight helps to control some squares that are not all the time available for the bishops. And black has a very solid construction. White needs to like b4, a4, b5, and so on to break through, to be able to break through. While I'm gonna play knight f6, g5, g4, h5, h4, and so on. G5 I cannot play because of e4. Okay, let's play h5 then. Maybe h5 actually not a great idea, weakening those pawns, this pawn. But okay, I'll play king h7 next. I mean, I can play bishop h6 as an option to maybe to prepare to play g5. h4 is also a move that makes sense. Maybe he's kind of ready to push e4. This might be a problem for me, but no, it's not gonna be a problem. I just take on e4. I just take. He probably gonna play a rook e2 to get ready for pushing e4, and then in the end there might be a problem for me. Yes. I'm not in time to play g5. I'm not in time. What am I doing then? How do I just prepare for that? Or do something active? So far I just want to take everything on e4. If he plays that taken everything, then playing rook f5, queen f7, kind of saying you're okay, I'm okay. We both are fine. Okay, let's play bishop g7, putting some pressure on the d4 pawn, maybe even thinking of c5. Can I play c5? Does it make sense to play c5? If queen e3, I have queen f7. If queen b2, I have rook f3. If rook d1, I can go for cd4 and rook d8. I'm ready for this as well. Yeah, his idea, like if e5, there is bishop c3, so I play queen f7. He cannot take here. I mean, he can maybe, no, he can't. Maybe it leads to some perpetual. And so he decided not to risk, not to check if it leads to perpetual or to something else. My pawn on e6 is still an issue. If I play this, then there is bishop there. Oh no, there is no bishop there. My rook is there. Yeah, unfortunately, white is very solid, and maybe I'm just worse here. Yeah, my pawn on e5 is a problem. My pawn on e6 was a problem. Now it is a problem on e5. Yes, he's gonna activate his pawn majority on the somewhere there. And for me, it's not so clear how to create. Like I have nothing to do on the king side, unfortunately. I mean, it's very, like, I mean, I cannot play h4, like bishop h6 might be an option, but not so clear. Okay, actually he maybe blundered a little bit. No, probably not really. Can I play rook? No, rook f1 I cannot do. And what do I do? Okay, let's get the rook somewhere at least, like maybe b3, c3. Also, that annoying bishop on c5 controlling f2 square, that's also a problem. Okay, let's take. I think should be good for me overall. To exchange like this. Now we go for e4. No, e4 rook d6. e4 rook d6. Maybe rook f3 first. 35 seconds. Maybe he can simply play rook e1. No, he didn't do that. Okay, I'm gonna lose on time once again, like just as you always. Блять! I had 6 seconds. Just didn't think about king 8. Expected him, of course, to play a8, queen, b1, like 6 seconds. You know, but this is also an effect at the same time. Like, this is not an excuse, of course, but I would say this is also the effect of the first rounds where, like, chess.com was still in my time. So, you know, now I was trying to play faster. Yes, but actually I was playing too fast this time. Yeah. Of course, I was lucky to find that rook takes g3 or rook b3. Actually, I even had an advantage. Okay, let's play next game. Probably I need to check this line because I have already played, I don't know, like a lot of games in last 2-3 weeks. I have played, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 games like this. c5 will be played, should be played, of course, and I need urgently to do something because strategically speaking, my position is bad. Maybe not only strategically. Like maybe putting some pressure on d6 pawn. I mean, strategically in terms of my pawn structure, of course. I have the bishop here, but the bishop here is pretty bad. King e7, an interesting approach, I would say. Unfortunately, f4 doesn't, like, it's too optimistic, I would say. I'm actually not so happy about my position. Because he's ready for h4, he's ready for, like, okay, let's switch to rook b1, maybe kind of distracting him there a little bit and doing something here, but unfortunately still there is nothing to do there. Ouch. Like, it feels so far like I'm gonna lose to this guy like a beginner. Like, I usually trick people, not people trick me. Let's go for rook b3, rook b1, queen b2, going from that side. But he can even like play bishop c8, simply defending b7 and playing on the king side. And bishop c8, just like, I don't know, what is this play by black? Super smart play, I would say. And what my rook do there? Nothing. Some shit. Some bullshit. I have no single idea to do something. Oh, I have an idea. No single, but I found one. Smart. Smart, but of course he can play knight f6, he can do whatever. He can even take on g3, fg, take on g3, fg3, g4, but then the position is okay. The position is okay for me. But of course, yes, my main idea, knight f4, bishop g4, at least creating some counter chances. Bishop g4 doesn't work for him. Rook b7, knight e2, intermediate. I have queen takes e2. I mean, actually, it works for him to get an equal position. But anyway, I have no choice. Yes, I had no choice. I needed to do that. Like, I mean, he can play bishop a6, so it's also like not a like super achievement for me. This is already like something looks interesting for me. Because now I can go for this. And after queen c6, I can take here. Maybe I can do something else. Maybe I'm not in a rush to do that. Maybe I can go for rook takes a7. Because actually, if I take here, takes queen d5, takes cd5, he can play, no, rook g8 doesn't give him anything. Maybe rook h7. I can play rook a7, but rook a7, what is that? You can play maybe rook b8 there. Let's go to the endgame. Safer way. Also, even if he doubles the rook on the h5, it's not the end of the world for me. I can do whatever. I can even play f3 there at some point. So I think I'm already better. Yeah, the only thing not to miss for me is, or like be careful about, is f3 move by black. I mean, for example, queen d5, cd5, f3. Of course, I should take on f3. And actually, after rook g8, maybe I should play f3. Because if I play rook d7, he goes for f3 himself. I cannot even take on d6. I should play this. Then he goes for rook h7, and I'm simply not in time to attack that pawn. So I should go for this. He's gonna go rook h3 most likely, forcing my rook to move to... actually, after rook h3, I will play rook f1, rook g3, rook f2, but not king f2, rook g3, rook g1, where the rook would be passive. And maybe later from f2 I would even go back to b2. And this pawn is hanging, this pawn is kind of hanging. I have an idea, rook d7, rook b7. So I think I'm better, but maybe the engine will show a simple way for black to equalize. Maybe black doesn't need to equalize, maybe black is okay overall. Or maybe rook g3 is like something to start. Rook g3 is still rook b2, rook g8. Yeah, oh, this way. No, this way is not so smart. I mean, just an ordinary move. Rook d7. Do I need to start with the rook d7 or maybe taking the pawn first? Let's take the pawn. Rook g6, rook b2, rook g3, king f1. If I attack there, then eventually this rook comes here. So let's go for this right away. Let's exchange. Let's go after the pawn. Or he should have played king g5 probably. But maybe even here he has a... Yes, maybe I'm mixed up something. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was going there anyway. Thank you for saving my time. And the king goes there, very unpleasant for him. Final trick. The position was very dangerous for me, I would say. Like, was probably I was way worse. Yeah, so probably here bishop g5 is not a good move, because for black it worked, everything worked perfectly. Bishop e2 is one of the best. I took on g5 first. Knight f6 he should have played. Oh, bishop f4, g4, queen d5, and rook b7 is unstoppable. Oh, can you imagine that? And simple win for me. Yeah, he could have taken actually on g4. And now this is already fine for me. I could have played f3 first. I didn't think about f3, but queen d5 and this position, yes, exactly like rook h3 should be the move. And just as I said that maybe black had a way to equalize, but it's not so obvious, and black should play carefully. So 7 out of 10, my standard, my standard, very standard number. Just I get there in different ways. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. So d5 probably is not a good idea by me. So let's play Let's play g6. Bishop goes to g7. And maybe even f5. Because if e5, I have d6. And for this, I have b5. My king is a bit exposed by all that shit. Maybe how about playing e5? e5, if he takes, then I go bishop to e5. Looks reasonable. However, I slightly blundered that after bishop f4 he has, I mean, he can go for knight. Okay, it doesn't really matter anymore. Queen takes or bishop takes. Let's go for bishop. Attacking him a little bit at least. Now I should be very careful about my king, however. Let's start with rook e8. Actually, even threaten bishop h2. Okay, not really threatening bishop h2 anymore. Actually, like maybe... No, doesn't work. If I start with bishop h2, queen h2, queen h2, no, bishop takes g2 doesn't work. Okay, I need to do something about my bishop then. Rook a7 might be an issue. Let's play bishop b7 then. I would like to play bishop d5, however. Okay, let's go bishop b7. Let's see what he's gonna do. Rook a7 doesn't work for him because of queen b8. And then I will be ready for bishop h2. At the moment I'm ready for bishop h2. Okay, so he defended against that. Yeah, my queen side, overall my king feels vulnerable. Yeah, this is what I'm not really happy about, honestly saying. Some c3, bishop b3 ideas. Maybe I just need to play rook a8, exchanging the rooks and having a simple and solid position. Kind of weakening my position. Looks reasonable by... Oh, bishop c6 was a better move, so if I then later I would take and my queen would be on c6. c6 would of course be better square to attack the pawn on c2. But okay. Here doesn't work. Here he wants to go, yeah. Okay, let's defend. Oh, queen e5 was close to blunder. Queen e5 takes bishop g5 and I would be lost. Okay, obviously he's gonna try to flag me, so I need to speed up. Okay, queen 5, can I play? The guy's playing with fire, I would say. Completely forget about the check. Honestly saying. Yeah, there is no way for me to escape from checks. Okay, okay, keep playing with fire, boy. Queen e4 I think should be winning for me. I mean, queen e4 by him, yeah, of course. Controlling the g3 square, h5, g4. I told him that he shouldn't play with fire, but he didn't listen. No rush for me, no rush. Queen b6 was a better way to defend the d4 pawn. d6 I thought about that, but didn't want to. Knight d4 maybe. d5, knight d6, queen b6. I didn't see that. Oh. Bishop b4 didn't see. Oh, blunder. Bishop b5 still blunder in that. Okay. Yeah, so it should have been draw, of course, and even here you see it's no advantage for me. He should go for repetition, of course, but he didn't. Queen e2 wins almost instantly. f4 is also fine. f4 is also fine with the idea of f3, queen e2. And bishop e5 is an important move, because if h5, then bishop g3. The only thing I wasn't sure, what do I play after c3, because I thought that taken is not so clear. Yeah, pawn endgame is not so clear. So this is funny, by the way, yes, because like when it was, you don't see me probably. Okay, now you can see me. Because when it was a very good tournament for me, like previous Tuesday, then Tuesday before that, and so on. Eventually, I think I scored something like last Tuesday for sure 7 out of 11. I had 7 out of 9, and still I scored 7 out of 11. The one before that, I think also it was something similar to that, 7 out of 11. And today with okay, I wouldn't say with a terrible play, but I would say with some what's the word? I'm not sure if I'm sure I will pronounce it wrong way, but I'm also not so sure if it's the right meaning. Under the circumstances, something like that, yes. under the circumstances in the beginning of the tournament, when like having 2.5 out of 4, because of not my problem, because of not like, okay, I didn't, let's say I don't pretend for 4 out of 4, but I pretend at least for 3.5 out of 4. Because not losing the game, which I completely, where I was completely winning, and losing it on time, having a lot of time, this is what is that, right? Then what was it? I lost to Andreikin, winning. Okay, not let's say a position with big advantage. I lost to him. Shimanov, I stalemated him in completely winning position. I don't know what is that, like bad luck or what. And so my point is that I'm like with playing so I would say today, like scoring 8 out of 11. 8 out of 11 is still not a great result, I would say, but at least compared to what it was like few previous tournaments, it looks good. It looks good, but you know, it's like still it smells. It looks good, but it smells different to my previous tournaments where I played great chess, excellent chess, but then some stupid things happened. But at least they were based on, they were related to me. I was doing that stupid things, yeah. So I would like to do that, those stupid things, and losing points on that by that, but not because of the server problems. And today I almost didn't do anything to to show great results. If we consider 8 out of 11 a great result, a good result, yeah, nothing special. But maybe an achievement, so finally breaking that cursed of scoring 7 out of 11. No, it was like maybe 3 or 4 title Tuesday ago. It was a good result where I should have scored 9 out of 11, but I lost last round winning game against Le Quan Liam, and I scored 8 out of 11. But last Tuesdays it was 7 out of 11, I think. Okay, not in a great, like, you know, like felt like it felt like my energy was on low level today. Okay. Yeah, it felt like my energy level was low today. So, and also the server level energy was something wrong about it in the beginning of the tournament. But okay, so let's consider it a good result under bad circumstances. Not sure if it is the right word, and I mean I kind of believe it is the right word, but not sure the way I pronounce it. Yeah, in the end, okay, Nepor scored 8 out of 11, Bortnik 8 out of 11, Duda 8 out of 11. Yeah, but actually this is like, okay, like every guy sees 7.5 out of 11. But of course, it's not the right way to compare your results to other guys because they had their own tournament. Yeah, they had other opponents. Maybe they didn't have server problems, and server didn't steal their time. What is this guy? Dao Kun Dui, International Master? Never heard of him. My bliss rate, and I was on 2958. I need to get to those 3000, of course. Okay. Thank you for joining. Thank you if you watching this video in recording. I have checked. I have there are like 2 more Tuesdays this month. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 in November. It is 6, and in December 3. So not counting today's tournament, yeah, nine tournaments left. 9 tournaments left before the World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship. So maybe I will be able to show a decent result. We'll see. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for joining, and bye.